Have you ever found yourself lying in bed at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, your heart quietly holding something you've never told anyone? A moment you wish you could rewrite. A word you wish you hadn't said. A goodbye that never came. A silence that now feels like a wall between you and someone you once loved. Sometimes, what weighs us down isn't age. It's memory. The kind of memory that doesn't fade with time, because it lives not in the brain, but in the heart. You may be 60, 70, or even 80, and yet, that one scene from the past still visits you like clockwork. Every night, when the house is silent, when no one's calling, when the world thinks you've already moved on, but your soul hasn't. I should have held his hand one more time. If only I had told her how sorry I really was. I didn't know that would be our last conversation. These thoughts don't scream. They whisper. And they echo loudest in the quiet. Maybe you're listening to this right now with a heavy chest. Maybe you're tired of pretending you're okay, just so you don't make others uncomfortable. Maybe you don't even want to heal, you just want someone to finally understand what you're still carrying. If that's you, let this moment be your resting place. Let this story be a soft blanket for your soul. Let this voice be the one that says, I see you. I hear you. You're not alone. Because this isn't just another video. This is a small candle, lit just for you, in the middle of the night. And today, we're going to talk about how to gently let go. Not because you should, but because you deserve to feel light again. Part 1, Story. The teacup by the window. Her name is Eleanor. She's 71. Lives in a quiet suburb in Pennsylvania. Widowed for 8 years. Estranged from her only daughter for the last 3. Every morning, Eleanor makes 2 cups of tea. One for herself. And one she places on the empty side of the small wooden table by her window. That second cup has never been touched. It always cools slowly, silently, as the morning sun filters through the curtains. It's silly, I know, she once said to her neighbor. But I like to believe, maybe one day, she'll knock on the door, and I won't have to say a word. I'll just point to that cup, and she'll know. 3 years ago, during an argument neither of them saw coming, Eleanor said something cruel to her daughter, a sentence that came from exhaustion, not truth. It was one of those moments where emotion speaks louder than love. And the damage lingers far longer than the words. You think I failed you? You have no idea what I gave up for you. The door slammed. And it's never opened again. At first, Eleanor thought she'd just give her daughter space. A few weeks, maybe a month. But weeks turned into months, and the silence grew roots. She wrote letters. Drafted messages on her phone that she never sent. Dialed her daughter's number, only to hang up after the first ring. Every Sunday, she still listens for a knock. Even when it's raining. Even when her arthritis makes it hard to walk. Because hope, as fragile as it feels, never truly leaves. And yet, inside, she carries a weight that most people around her don't see. She smiles in church. Nods politely at the grocery store. Answers, I'm doing okay, when asked how she is. But in the stillness of her home, there's a kind of grief that doesn't cry loudly. It just sits with you. Like an old friend. One who doesn't speak, but never leaves. I don't know if she'll ever forgive me, Eleanor whispers to herself one evening, wrapping her shawl tighter. But I think I need to forgive myself. At least enough to breathe. She doesn't know what healing is supposed to look like. She only knows that carrying this pain into every winter is starting to feel heavier than she can bear. Part 2, Insight, a Buddhist reflection on letting go. Peace begins where holding on ends. Eleanor's story is not rare. Across quiet towns, silent homes, and even in crowded cities, there are countless souls who, like her, carry invisible burdens. Words unsaid. Wounds unhealed. Regrets that replay like old records long after the music stopped. But the beauty of Buddhist wisdom is that it doesn't ask us to erase the past. It simply invites us to stop reliving it. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law." And that love, that compassion, must first begin with ourselves. You see, forgiveness is not about whether the other person deserves it. Forgiveness is about whether you deserve peace. And Eleanor, like many of us, has suffered long enough. The weight we choose. Think of your pain as a heavy bag you've been carrying for years. At first, maybe it gave you a sense of control. A reminder. A defense. But with time, the bag became heavier. It slowed your steps. It stole your sleep. And worst of all, it kept your hands too full to receive anything new. Why do I still hurt when I think about that moment? Why can't I just move on? The Buddha taught that all suffering arises from attachment, not just to people, but to expectations, old identities, and memories frozen in time. We hold on because we think letting go means forgetting. But it doesn't. Letting go means remembering without reliving. It means acknowledging the pain, bowing to it with compassion, and gently releasing its grip on your life. Eleanor's turning point. The moment Eleanor whispered, "Maybe I need to forgive myself," was her first true step toward freedom. Not because she had a plan. Not because the past changed. But because she finally saw that her suffering was not punishment, it was invitation. An invitation to return to herself. To sit with her sorrow, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. In Buddhist practice, there is no moment more powerful than the one where we stop blaming others and begin healing ourselves. The practice of letting go. Letting go isn't a one-time event. It's a gentle, repeated practice, like breathing. Every morning, Eleanor now sits with her tea, just one cup. She closes her eyes and says, "I'm still learning to forgive myself. But today, I choose peace over punishment. I choose love over blame. I choose to let go, just a little more." This is not denial. This is liberation. Buddhist insight in everyday pain. If you, too, are holding on to something painful, ask yourself, am I willing to carry this into another year of my life? What would I gain if I allowed myself to feel light again? Can I forgive the version of me who didn't know better? The Buddha never promised that life would be without sorrow. But he showed us how not to suffer twice, once from the event, and again from the memory. The mind is everything, he said. What you think, you become. So what if today, you think gently? You forgive bravely. You let go slowly, but truly. Let this be your turning point. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just one soft moment where you tell yourself, I have suffered long enough. I deserve to begin again. Part 3. Practical Reflection, Applying Letting Go in Daily Life. What would peace look like in your morning? It's easy to hear a beautiful teaching and feel inspired for a moment. But the real transformation happens not in the temple, not in the book, but in the ordinary, quiet hours of our lives. So let's bring this wisdom down from the clouds, and place it gently on your kitchen table. Because for someone like Eleanor, and maybe for you, healing doesn't come in one grand awakening. It begins in the small choices. The way you speak to yourself when no one is around. The way you treat your mornings. The way you respond to old memories when they show up, uninvited. Start with your mornings. Imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up. Your joints ache a bit, like always. The silence of the house feels heavy. The kettle sings in the background. Now, imagine that instead of checking your phone or turning on the TV, you sit down, and place your hand gently over your heart. And whisper, "Good morning, my old friend. Let's try to live today a little lighter." This one moment, this one sentence, is a form of letting go. It's not about erasing the past. It's about refusing to let the past be your jailer. The power of small rituals. Eleanor's act of making tea each day is no longer about waiting. Now, it's a quiet act of devotion to herself. "I don't need anyone to sit across from me," she says. "This cup is for the version of me that's still learning how to love who I've become." Try this. Each day, choose one small, meaningful ritual. It could be lighting a candle, writing one line in a journal, taking 3 conscious breaths, looking at your reflection and simply saying, "I forgive you." The mind, like the body, forms habits. Let your new habit be gentleness. Responding to the memory visit. Old memories will come. That's their nature. The past doesn't vanish, it echoes. But when it shows up, don't fight it. Meet it like an old traveler who brings a message, then continues on. Tell it, "Yes, I remember. And I'm healing now." You don't need to stay. This is how you rewire your relationship with regret. Not by pretending it never happened, but by refusing to suffer the same pain again and again. Compassion as a daily choice. There's a phrase in Buddhism. "May I be kind to the part of me that still hurts." Write it on a note. Stick it on your mirror. Say it aloud when you're brushing your hair or tying your shoes. Let compassion become your inner dialogue. Not self-criticism. Not guilt. Not shame. Because peace doesn't arrive when everything is fixed. It arrives when you stop punishing yourself for being human. Living with an open heart. Letting go is not about closure. It's about creating space, so something new can enter. For Eleanor, that new thing wasn't a phone call from her daughter. It was the ability to sit in her chair, sip her tea, and feel warmth again, even without anyone there. And maybe for you, letting go means laughing at something silly without guilt. Saying, "I love you," to yourself and meaning it. Sleeping through the night without dreams full of old scenes. You deserve a lighter life. You don't have to wait for someone to forgive you. You don't need to rewrite the past. You don't need to earn peace. You just need to decide. I am ready to stop carrying this pain. I am ready to begin again. Part 4, Gentle Practice, How to Let Go, One Breath at a Time. A practice for those who are ready to feel lighter. Letting go isn't a concept. It's not an idea you understand once and check off your list. It's a daily practice. A kind of inner hygiene for the heart. Like brushing your teeth or washing your hands, this is how we cleanse the sorrow we've been silently carrying. And the best part? You don't need fancy tools. You don't need to be good at meditation. You don't even need to believe in anything. You just need one thing, a little quiet and a little willingness. The 3-breath ritual. You can do this practice anytime, morning, before bed, or whenever the heaviness returns. Step 1. Sit and settle. Find a quiet corner. No phone. No rush. Sit comfortably, in a chair, on a cushion, or even on your bed. Place one hand over your heart, the other on your belly. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Or simply lower your gaze. I am here. This moment is mine. Step 2. Breathe in, breathe out, with words. On your first breath, inhale gently through the nose. As you exhale, say silently, I have suffered enough. On your second breath, inhale. As you exhale, I choose to let go. On your third breath, inhale. As you exhale, I am safe to begin again. Repeat this cycle 3 times if you can. Or just once, slowly. No pressure. The Release and Replace Writing Ritual. This is a 2-minute journal practice. You only need a piece of paper and honesty. Step 1. Write one sentence that still hurts. Example. I still feel guilty for what I said to my sister. I can't forgive myself for not being there. I feel like I failed someone I love. Be real. Raw. Private. Step 2. Breathe. Then write this under it. I forgive myself for being human. I release this pain, not because it's small, but because I deserve peace. I am learning to let go, one breath at a time. Then fold the paper. You can burn it, bury it, or save it, your choice. But let the act of writing be your small ritual of release. A mantra to carry in your pocket. Sometimes, pain returns in the grocery line. Or while washing dishes. Or in the middle of a good day. In those moments, whisper this mantra in your mind. Softly now, let go. I am okay. I am enough. This simple phrase can anchor you, gently, when the past tries to reclaim space. If you forget, begin again. You will forget. You'll get angry again. You'll cry again. Memories will rise when you least expect. That's okay. The practice isn't about never hurting. It's about always remembering, you can begin again. Every breath is a door. Every quiet moment is a chance to choose peace again. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to release just one thread of what you've been holding too tight. So right now, let's breathe one more time together. Inhale, I am safe. Exhale, I let go. Closing, a soft doorway to light. You don't have to carry this forever. If you've made it this far, thank you. Not just for watching, but for choosing to sit with your own heart, even when it's tender. Letting go isn't easy. It asks us to look at things we've tucked away for years. It asks us to feel what we've tried so hard to ignore. But it also offers something beautiful in return. A lighter step. A softer night. A heart that can finally rest. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. You don't need to do it all today. You don't have to forgive everyone right now. You don't have to feel free in one try. You just need to begin. With one breath. One whisper. One choice to let go, gently. Because healing doesn't come all at once. It comes like dawn. Quiet. Gradual. But certain. You have suffered enough. The Buddha might whisper. Now choose peace. And walk forward, light as a feather. Before you go, let me say this. If no one has told you lately, you are not alone. There is still so much in you worth holding with love. There is still time. Still beauty. Still warmth waiting for you. In the cup of tea you make for yourself. In the breath you take before bed. In the way your heart softens, right now, as you hear these words. So tonight, as you lie down, may you release one small sorrow. And wake tomorrow. A little lighter.